morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday live here with me, Asiya Nasir, founder and Chief Empowerment Officer at Jessica Cares, a 501c3 nonprofit that our mission is to help empower and to help our teen girls to be able to feel their best selves, show up in spaces and places, knowing that they belong and that they have a voice. And so our Wake Up Wednesday here is always every other week, is about topics and things that are relevant to teenage girls and their mothers to be able to assist in becoming that person, constantly working on that journey of being their best version of themselves. And so today is no different. We have a great discussion that we're going to have today. I hope that you engage us and participate and, leave comments to help the discussion and to give suggestions as well. So our Wake Up Wednesdays is just that wake up call, that reset button that sometimes we need. Sometimes we get that lull and we're just feeling a little stagnant and stuck. And so our Wake Up Wednesdays is a conduit to helping maintain that healthy self-esteem and sense of self-worth. So what is our topic for this week that I feel is so relevant to helping our teen girls? Well, school is back. School is back, and school brings on its own level of challenges for our girls. And some of that is just, being able to overcome the academic struggles that some of them may have. Some of our girls that we work with do have some areas where they have learning delay. They have learning disabilities, struggling with different things. And sometimes school, the balance of chores and their social life, as well as their academic studies, sometimes can feel a bit overwhelming. And so, some of our teens, as adults, sometimes we feel overwhelmed. Sometimes we have levels of anxiety, and sometimes we have, feelings of just like, I can't, this is a bit much. And then there's a shutdown. And so our teenage girls, having less experience, less foresight of different things, sometimes that feeling of feeling overwhelmed can be even more for them, and not having the wherewithal of how to get out of it can be a bit much for our girls. And so with school just starting, we want our girls to start off on the right foot. We want our girls to have the tools and the resources to be able to say, hey, I can handle it. And there are certain things that I can do to be able to manage that. And so that is a way of having empowerment, feeling good about oneself, and feeling accomplished and fulfilled. So we are going to be sharing about 3 to 4 strategies this morning on how to overcome academic struggles and how to stay focused. How to stay focused and not let school feel like it's so overwhelming or taking such a big part of their life and they can't handle it. So let's get right into our discussion today. So strategy number 1 to be able to do that, I call it micro missions and finish lines. Micro missions and finish line. So a lot of times what our girls will do in feeling overwhelmed is they'll say things right before they're getting ready to start homework, which is, I'm getting ready to do math homework. So whether it's a top, for me, math was hard. So that's why I use math as an example. But whatever topic that you struggle with, whether that's writing, whether that's science, history, or math, a lot of times, as a teen girl, you'll go into your homework saying, all right, I got to start my math homework. What I want you to do, because even that in and of itself, having to go into doing something that you struggle with can bring on a level of anxiety. It can bring on a level of procrastination. It can bring on a level of, putting it off, right? Because it's something that you don't like doing or something that you feel you're not good at. So instead of saying, okay, I'm getting ready to start my math homework, the mind is already triggered now that I'm stressed. So instead of saying that, I want you to break your homework assignment down to saying, instead of I'm getting ready to start my math homework, say I'm getting ready to finish problems 1 through 5. So breaking it down. So if you have 10 problems, if you have 15 problems, break it down to like 5 increments. Break it down to like 5 increments or whatever the number is. Break it down to a smaller number. When you break it down to a smaller number, the brain doesn't automatically go into anxiety mode. The brain doesn't go into, I feel overwhelmed. and give yourself a timer. I'm going to finish problems 1 through 5 in the next 30 minutes. And after that 30 minutes, give yourself like a 5-minute break. Give your brain a rest, because it's something that you're not comfortable with doing. You're not comfortable, you're not good at it. So, or you feel you're not good at it. This gives you the opportunity to have some breaks in between. Those breaks are so important because it reduces your level of anxiety. It allows you to just focus one set at a time. So when you do that, it's like your brain is stimulated. Your brain is like, okay. And then even in those breaks, give yourself little rewards. Give yourself little rewards. If that's that snack, if that's that, whatever it is, that you need, give yourself that. Give yourself that little break, that little reward for accomplishing those first 5 problems and then moving on to the next, right? It helps your brain to see also that you are making progress, that you are actually making progress versus feeling like all the problems that haven't been done. I haven't finished this yet. I have so many to do. Now you're just focusing on 5 at a time, 3 at a time, whichever makes you feel like that's doable. And so now you're going into your homework already with less anxiety. It's an attention grabber, because a lot of our girls do struggle sometimes with attention deficit. So if you struggle with ADHD or ADD, this really helps you to be able to say, okay, I'm not going into 20 problems and I have to stay focused on 20 problems. This allows you to focus on small sets at a time. So it keeps your attention. It reduces your level of anxiety, and it builds your confidence, because you're actually getting an assignment done that you really didn't want to do, really wasn't looking forward to, but you're actually seeing in those increments, in those breaks, wow, I actually got my homework done, and I did it at a pace, and I did it in a way that it wasn't overwhelming for me. So instead of, as I mentioned before, looking at how much you have left, now you're looking more at what you've gotten done, what you've accomplished, what you've finished. So that's one way. So as I mentioned before, that's the micro accomplishments and small wins, small finishes, right? You finish this and focusing more on that. So I think that's a great way to be able to help you to overcome feeling overwhelmed, especially when doing homework and on subjects and topics that you don't feel at your best, right? So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is what I call, and this is big. This next one, if I probably should have put it number 1, but this is extremely important because even adults struggle with this. And it's called what I call environmental anchor. Environmental anchors. And what that means is kind of reading the room and casing your environment. Right? Casing your environment, because your environment can either set off anxiety or it can set your brain into a space of calm, readiness, focus, right? So what do I mean by environmental anchors? When you're getting ready to do your homework, a lot of times I find, even when I was raising my children, you got the music going on, you got TV going on, you got, the computer on, you got your phone going. I mean, so many things going on in this space that you're supposed to be studying and you're supposed to be, focusing. When you have all of that going on, it can be very distracting and it can feel overwhelming when you're trying to study. And my kids used to tell me all the time, oh, I study better when it's like this. No, you don't. No one does. When you're supposed to be focused on something, it is very, very difficult when you got 20 things going on to be able to focus on that thing. It's much more difficult. So have a dedicated space in your house, and it doesn't matter if it's small. That's not the point. The point of having a dedicated space that that has good lighting, that's quiet, minimum clutter. That's a big one. Minimum clutter, because when you're in a space where things are all chaotic and things are all over the place, that's a external look at how you're feeling on the inside. So if you're unorganized, that is how you're going to feel. As soon as you walk in that room, your brain is going to trigger, I'm unorganized. This is not an environment for study. This is not an environment for focus. This is not an environment for calm and readiness. This is, I got to navigate all this chaos going on around me. So dedicate a small space that works for you, even if it's small, but dedicate a space. If it's your room, dedicate a space for yourself. If you share a room, then maybe go in a space, maybe ask your parents when I'm doing homework, can I study in your room? But that space where you allow yourself to be able to be calm, good lighting, minimal clutter, just the things that you're going to need to be able to study, and all of the necessary supplies you need. Erasers, pens, pencils, whatever that is, give yourself that space that gets you ready. I have all of the things that I need. So if that's paper, if it's your computer, your laptop, whatever it is, have everything set and dedicated for your environmental anchor, right? And before you start, do what I do when I get ready. Even before I do my Wake Up Wednesday, I do it. Give you minutes to set your mind in a space that I am getting ready to walk into, a space to be calm, I need to be ready, and I need to be focused. So do some breathing techniques. Breathing is life, girl. Breathing is life. So take 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. As you can see, it's nothing long. Take 2 minutes, take some deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. You'd be amazed at how it. So take about 2 minutes right before you're going to start your homework. About 2 minutes to just do some deep breathing techniques. And while you're breathing, you may want to, look at something calm or think something calm, whether that's raindrops, falling and hearing the rain. Maybe that's, visualizing the beach and the ocean or something, but something that calms the spirit, right? The breathing alone is going to heart rate at a calm rate, but the thinking of something calm, or even thinking accomplishment, what you're about to accomplish, what you're about to finish, and what that's going to feel like while you're breathing is going to be so crucial to you walking into that space ready to tackle your homework. And if you have to do it, as I said, in increments, you're ready now. You're in a space that is conducive and supportive to what it is you're trying to do. So, and when you have those 5 minutes, give yourself time to stretch, walk, and hit that reset button, hit that reset button. And the reason why I say this is so important is responds to signals. So if we see chaos, our mind is going to respond to that. If we see calm and readiness, our brain is going to respond to that. So it reduces resistance, procrastination, all of the things that, keep us from being our best self in school. This allows you to do that. It helps to separate your brain from rest mode to work ready mode, right? I'm ready to take on, my homework. I'm ready to take on this assignment or whatever it is. And again, than ever, it reduces that anxiety that so many of you feel. Especially if you're struggling with some whether learning delays or learning disabilities, it allows you to be able to work at your pace. I know at school you have to work at the school's pace, and sometimes that can be challenging. But when you're home, you can create what pace works for you and allow yourself to still accomplish the things that you need to accomplish, but at the pace that you need to accomplish it and not feel overwhelmed. Okay. So that's strategy number 2. And that's why I say your environment is so important. Strategy number 3, and this one has more to do with projects. Like if you have big projects, a book report, a project that you're doing, no matter what class it is, but you have an assignment, right? What I want you to do is the minute you're given the assignment, a lot of times we want to wait till the last minute. We want to wait till the last minute. That in and of itself is going to bring on anxiety. That in and of itself is going to make you feel overwhelmed, right? It's going to make you feel overwhelmed. The minute you get the assignment, when you need to start prepping, right? The minute you get the assignment, if you have 2 weeks, you should be doing a little bit at a time for that project. Give yourself assignments each day, even if it's 10 minutes to 15 minutes, 20 minutes towards your assignment. So that way your assignment is not feeling overwhelmed. I don't have to get this big thing done all at once, because you don't. You know, I do the same thing with Jessica Cares. When I have something, when I have an event coming up, I don't wait until the last minute to start preparing for this event. I'm preparing, however far long it is, I'm preparing for that event. So by the time the event is due, or the event is here, I'm not scrambling trying to get things done. I've pretty much gotten things done a little bit at a time along the way, and it reduces that level of anxiety. So that's the first thing. I don't want you to wait until the last minute. So if you have a project, start prepping. How much time are you going to give each day towards your project? So by the end of, by the time your project is due, it reduces that stress. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want you to do, this is called strength sketching or affirmation building. And what I mean by strength sketching, I want you to, once you get your project, I want you to start thinking about or jotting down a few things that you've done well in the past, other projects that you've done well, other things that you've done well in the home, things that you know are your strengths, and you know they're your strengths. And then what I want you to do is take your current project and attach those strengths to how now can my strength connect to this current project. The strength that I have, the thing that I'm good at, the thing that I did well before. How can I bring that into this project? How can I lean on that strength? So now you're not focusing on, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that, I can't do this, because once you tell yourself, girls, that you can't do something, the brain follows. The brain follows. You ever notice when someone goes to the gym, they'll do 10 push-ups, and they're like, whew, I did my max. They'll get with a personal trainer that once they get to that 8, 9, that personal trainer say, you got 5 more in. And you look at that personal trainer like, what? I don't have 5 in me. And next thing you know, you did the other 5. And sometimes they'll take another 5. And next thing you know, that 10 turns into 20 push-ups. Why? Because you are actually telling your brain, I can do it. My personal trainer said 5 more. So now you're telling yourself 5 more. And your body follows. Your body follows. So whether you tell yourself the truth or a lie, your body doesn't know the difference. So it's going to follow what you tell it. So if you tell yourself, I can't do this project, your body, your faculties are going to follow. Everything is going to follow. But if you tell yourself, these are my strengths, and I'm going to lean on these strengths to help with this big project, you're affirming what you can do, and the body will follow. The body will follow. So don't tell yourself what you can't do. Tell yourself what you can do based off of what you've already done, what you've already accomplished, and in using your strengths, your proven strengths to be able to lean into this current project, right? So that could be, I'm creative, I'm persistent, I have resilience, I have patience, whatever that is, use those strengths and put it on there, right? And I want you to affirm yourself. I can break this down step by step. I can break this down step by step. My persistence is going to get me through this, whatever affirmation. And I don't want you to look up affirmations or think of cheesy ones or whatever. I want you to choose the ones that feel right in your soul, that you actually believe, not something that, you're like, okay, these are some affirmations I want to tell myself and hopefully convince myself. No, affirmations that are your own. So I'm just giving examples. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't use those. And if you hear little footsteps around me, that's my little rabbit running around here. Is what they call zoomies. He's zooming around right now. So that's what you hear, the little footsteps, running around. So I just wanted, he just did. So if you hear that little sound that sounds like something's rushing, that's my little rabbit. So I apologize for that. He's showing off right now. So this helps to build confidence, girl. Those affirmations, that utilizing your strength, leaning in on your strength, it builds confidence. It's acknowledging what's best in you and how you can use that in every aspect of your life, every project in your life, every assignment in your life, every new challenge in your life. Your strengths are what, along with prayer and things like that, is what's going to help you get through each and every step, right? And it shifts your mindset. Your mindset is so important, girls. Your mindset is what's going to help you to be able to see the finished product. If you have a mindset of defeat, you'll never be able to accomplish anything. But if you have the mindset of I can, I will, I have the ability, I can get this done, that is going to work to your benefit. So parents, if you're tuning in, because I see you following here, if you're tuning in, this is where you can assist your children, like if they're looking for that quiet space and things like that, maybe have a conversation with the siblings that this is their quiet space. Do not come into the room. Do not, interrupt. That's their quiet time. Stay outside, watch TV outside, things like that. Girls, this is very important. You have to shut off the phone. I know it feels like, withdrawals, but you have to. Part of your anxiety is you're too distracted. You're too distracted. So you have to give yourself the ability to be able to work in a space where you can focus. If you're distracted and you're scrolling, you're not going to be able to finish. So put the phones aside, give yourself that timer, that 5-minute break, answer text messages or whatever, but then get right back to it. You have to put those phones down, girls. You got to put those phones down. Okay. Friends know this is my time. I'm going to be doing my homework. So don't call me. Don't text me. Wait until afterwards, right? It's so important. Again, your environment, letting people know, the people that care about you, letting them know. And if they want what's best for you, they won't call you at that time. They won't interrupt you during that time. They won't tag you and stuff at that time where you're getting those notifications on your phone and you're like pull, towards it. You'll be able to fight off that. So put the phones away. And if that means you got to shut it off, then shut off your phone. Shut off your phone. Have the strength and the willpower and the discipline to be able to do this. It's going to help you overcome your academic struggles, and it's definitely going to help you stay focused and not allow, your school and your homework to feel overwhelming. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, those strategies to be able to help you through this time. So I wanted to share before I leave, Jessica Cares has 2 things that's going on this month that's so important. So I am actually going to link here so that way I can share with you the link. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 18th, in honor of October being Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Jessica Cares is putting on a free virtual. I'm putting the link, so that's why I'm looking down. I'm putting the link in here to sign up. It is limited space, so although it's virtual, so that means in any space that you're in, any state that you're in, join us. We are going to be, having a very engaging workshop that's going to be featuring a movie called Monster. It's a short film, so it's like about 7-8 minutes long, but we're going to be discussing domestic violence awareness, as well as healthy, choosing healthy relationships, and, what are the different forms of abuse? Because a lot of times our girls, especially not being, versed in, relationships so much, but understanding that choosing even, healthy friendships, what does that look like? Setting boundaries, having standards, self-esteem, as well as what are the different forms of abuse? Because a lot of times our girls can be in an abusive situation and not realize it because they don't see it as well. It's not physical, so it's not abusive, which we know that's not the case. So it's absolutely free. I just put the link in the comment section. Please make sure that you are you click on that and sign up, because once it's sold out, we're not. So while this event is free, Jessica Cares is asking for donations for things like this, so that way we can continue to provide, relevant topics, important and powerful topics that are going to help our teen girls. So this domestic violence awareness is specific to our teen girls. So I put the chat in there. And then October 25th, we also have our event, Breaking Barriers, Building Legacies Career Day. We still have a few, very few, but we still have a few tickets left. And this is also a free event. This career day is going to be, this is face-to-face, so this is not virtual, but this face-to-face is going to allow our girls to meet women in industries that you typically do not see women in. So not only are they in the profession, in the industry, but they are taking names and no prisoners. These are women that are really flourishing in these fields that you typically do not see women in. The trucking industry, the barbering industry. So although it's the hair industry, it's not necessarily what our girls always see. Dentistry, especially in the Black and brown community, we don't see women in that. Female firefighters, we're going to have a plethora, even the film industry. So we're going to have some women that are coming in to pour into our girls, and we have a few spots left. So if you can make it into the New Jersey area, that's where we're going to have it. I just put the link in there as well for those events. These are free events. Just got to bring your girl there. Just got to, and for our domestic violence, which is on the 18th, that one is virtual. That's from the comfort of your home. So make sure that you're tuning into something and learning how to have healthy relationships through our domestic violence workshop. And then on the 25th, which is the following week, is our career day. I think we only have like 4 slots left. So secure your spot. It is free. We're going to have food, and it's just going to be an amazing day. So that is what I wanted to share with you on this Wake Up Wednesday. So, I'll see you all, God willing, in a couple of weeks to talk about another amazing topic, a discussion that we can all benefit from to help you show up in places and spaces in the best version of yourself. So I'll see you all in a couple of weeks, God willing.